Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing my tier list for the upcoming FIFAe 2025 World Cup. The event starts in a couple of days, so I'm pausing my recap videos from the kickoff LAN that just happened just for this one video. Then I'm going to go back to doing a couple of recap videos from the kickoff LAN in Copenhagen. Got a couple of good suggestions from you guys in the previous one I did, so thank you for that. And also, myself and apparently Jack just uploaded our recap of Shopify Rebellion from the kickoff LAN on the Next Rank YouTube channel. Link in description if you want to see our breakdown of their playstyle. Jack may be exposing a few strategies that he's aware of. But anyway, I won't spoil that video for you. The FIFA World Cup, 16 teams. The groups are similar to last year. It's got the same format. If you remember, there was the option, well, there was the possibility of draws happening in the group stage, which I thought was really interesting. A chance for the underdog teams to get an upset, get a point on the board. Much easier to do that than in a best of five. And yeah, the groups are, as you can see on your screen, we've got the main teams in Group A: Saudi Arabia, United States, Brazil, but also Germany looking quite strong in Europe. A couple other European teams in Italy, Norway, Chile, who made it out of groups last year, and then Oman, the underdog. And then in Group B, we've got Morocco not returning with Itachi, but I'll explain more on that later. Team Australia, who just top 6 at the World Championship. France, Malaysia, spearheaded by the star player Sphinx, best player in APAC. England, of course, terrible team. Belgium and Netherlands, two strong European teams. And South Africa, which, unlike last year, is not the same roster as the strongest team in Sub-Saharan Africa. They've actually gone their separate ways, those guys, with the new 2/3 rule, but I'll explain that in a minute. But anyway, there's going to be a tier list. If you want to see predictions, we might do that with the Chalkcast guys. Haven't found a time that we're all available to do it right now because CJ's already over there in Saudi. He's doing the eFootball, so we're all in totally different time zones. He's working. We might be able to do it on site though, so keep an eye on the Chalkcast Patreon if you want to see that. Maybe even we might just do the predictions, upload it, during the event. You can see how wrong we are. But okay, that's what's happening here. Let's just start with the obvious one. Saudi Arabia, the hosts. The former Falcons roster, it's Rawast, Clears, and TRK playing for Saudi Arabia. I think it goes without saying that they're going to be an S tier team. They're not a team anymore. TRK's been benched, and they've he's been transferred to Twisted Minds, and now he's beating Falcons. But I still think that this team will be quite strong, despite even though they're not playing together as regularly as they were before. I still think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. I think they're going to be one of the favorites. Really bold take by me, I know. And at the other end of the spectrum, we've got Oman, and no disrespect to them, but I think they're going to be the absolute underdogs of this tournament. The Oman team qualified through the, what was it even called? I need to look at this. They qualified through the Asia West Regional, and most of the teams in here, I think, 3 of them didn't play, and then the other 2, Jordan and Oman, were splitting the wins. But I mean, they're getting a lot of free wins here from teams who didn't play. So Oman and Jordan seem to be quite close. Oman came out on top. That's hype for them. That's what an experience to get to go to an event like FIFAe and play against some of the best players in the world. Going to be a really cool experience for these guys, I'm sure. I can't wait to cast Lumber. There's a lot of puns there, which should be fun. But I couldn't find Abdullah's tracker because there's a lot of players named Abdullah on Steam. But I found the other 2. They're both around about 2k rating in 2v2, which is not going to be enough to compete against the best players in the world, or so you would think. But I'm putting them in F tier purely based on the ratings that they've got in ranked, pretty much. But yeah, if you look at RLCS MENA, most recent event, didn't make the main event for Abdullah. Same for Lumber and Sultan. So these guys, they do play the RLCS events. They're not making main events in MENA. Obviously, MENA's stronger than people think as an RLCS region, but I think they've got a long way to go before they're going to be able to compete with the best teams in the region, or indeed the world. Okay, Brazil. Now, a lot of people worldwide are ranking Furia, the new Furia, around about B tier. But I'm going to put them A tier because I do think that having their main RLCS roster will be an advantage. We saw that with Saudi Arabia last year. It could be an advantage to have your main roster. Brazil this year have gone with Furia roster again, but this year it's Swift instead of Dorfinho. Dorfinho's been benched. They've picked up Swift, who is, I think, the hottest prospect in the region of South America. So good pick up there. They won the first regional, and I think that's going to help them, move up. If they hadn't won the first regional, or if they didn't look, if they didn't look comfortable, I would probably put them B. But they're looking good in SAM, so I have to respect that. And maybe this, fresh face will just bring them back to their former level. We know that they are an A tier team. Like, they've been underperforming. I think they could get back to A with this new pickup, though. As for Chile, same roster as last year. The roster that did make it out of group stage in emphatic fashion in crazy series against USA, Razebill, Davitrox, Pan. But I'm putting them C tier because I think that was an overperformance to make it out of group stage last year. And I think if they're in the other group, they probably would have struggled more. Was a bit of an easier group. So I'm going to say C tier. I think they're just going to miss out in the playoffs this time. Looking at their group that they are in, it is doable. You've got Brazil, USA, and Saudi Arabia. They're going to be incredibly hard to beat. But that last spot, going up against Italy, Norway, those are winnable matches for Chile. Oman, they should win. It's really Germany that's a big test. Germany came second in the EU quals. If they perform up to that level, I don't think Chile are going to beat them. But you never know. Germany didn't make it out of groups last time. They had a disappointing 2024. I've got that page here. They were down here. Very disappointing. Even behind England. I mean, what happened there? You never know. I'm going to put them C for now. And that leaves B for Belgium. B for Belgium. They've got a different roster than last year. Last year it was Azrael, Atto, and Reese Fox. Sorry, that's Belgium flag sideways, aka Germany. Here we are. Atto, Azrael again. This time with Compact. Wait, did I say Reese Fox? Yeah, this year they're playing with Reese Fox. Last year was Compact. Compact played great for this team. But Reese Fox is a good player, a very mechanical player, up and coming in EU. So I like this team. They qualified. This is how that's the Asia West. This is how they qualified. They managed to finish ahead of England. I don't know what the tiebreak was here but it doesn't really matter. Their playoff, they took down Malta, took down Portugal with ease, and then lost to France. So no real upsets there, no surprises. But the fact that Atto and Azrael were able to make it out of groups last time, FIFAe 2024, they looked really good. Made it out of a group with a lot of strong European teams. And the fact that they're coming back with 2/3 of the same roster, I think they're going to be good. Reese Fox is a solid player, so I'm going to put them in B. But I am going to put them behind Germany, because Germany finished second in the most recent EU qual. Even though they didn't make it out of groups last time, that was with a different roster. Last time they played with Rizix, Toxin, Raziers, and Rizix. This year they're playing with Catalysm. We just saw Catalysm playing phenomenally at the World Championship. He's playing his best ever Rocket League. So I think this is going to be a better Germany than last time. And their qualifier would suggest that, comfortably winning their group, as you would expect. But then making a run through Turkey, Norway, 4-0, 4-0, beating England 4-2 as well. So I think Germany, you've got to respect the fact that they just came second in the EU qualifier. Okay, now Italy, a team I'm really excited about. I don't think they're at the same level as Germany and Belgium, so I'm going to put them in C tier with Chile. But I think this team, they could do something here. I'm really excited. I've always wanted to see more Italians making deep runs into RLCS lands. I don't know why. I think it's just because Coxer97, the greatest Italian player of all time, one of the greatest players of all time, never really had a guy come along and do anything to that level. There have been a few. And actually, some of those players are on this roster, some of the most successful Italians these days. Arju is probably the most. But then Haider, Davuf, Arju, solid team. I'm excited to watch them play in a LAN setting. I'm rooting for them. They're an underdog in this group with Germany looking as strong as they are. They're going to be close. I think Chile versus Italy should be a great game. So Italy, I'm going to put them in C tier. Netherlands, B tier. These European teams, I think they're all just likely to make it out of groups, in my opinion. But it's not going to be easy. I don't think they're going to be top in groups. This is the same team as last year's Netherlands. They had Oli, Joris, Mike Boy last year, and I think they've done the same again this year. Yeah, there it is, Joris, Oli, Mike Boy. Since then, Joris and Oli have had better results internationally. Mike Boy not so much. But really, the stain on them in this qualifier is losing 4-0 to England, which is not acceptable for the Dutch roster. So that's why I can't put them higher. I'm going to need to put them behind their European counterparts because they lost to England. Okay, now Norway. Since D's looking a little bit empty, I'm going to put Norway in D. They scraped in. Really entertaining stuff. Norway scraped in game 7 against Portugal. They won game 6 and 7 against Portugal to qualify for this. So really good job by them. But yeah, this is probably the I think it is the weakest EU team that's made it. and I think they're going to struggle with their group that they've got. Woznian, Jupp, and Brugge, or Yup, I guess if you want to say it with the correct Norwegian pronunciation. But yeah, I don't think he minds. Yeah, the Norwegian team probably going to struggle in their group. Sorry, that's last year. They yeah, they're just in a bit of a group of death, I think. They would probably have preferred being in the group with Australia, although they're coming off a good result, Malaysia, South Africa, even Morocco playing with a new player. I think there's more points to gain there. Now they're just up against a bunch of European teams in Germany and Italy who are tough to beat, and of course Saudi, USA, and Brazil. It's just going to be really tough. Chile as well. I mean, I think Norway's probably finishing seventh in this group. Anything above that would be a win, in my book. Now England, if I had an E tier, I'd put them in an E for England, but as much as I hate to do it, they did 4-0 the Netherlands, so I'll put them over Netherlands. But I'm going to be hate watching England just like last year, as we always do here in Scotland. Since we're not participating, we just have to support whoever's playing England. And yeah, because I have to, because they did 4-0 Netherlands, I feel like I have to do this. I feel like I'm obliged. But that's about all I'm going to do. They got the same results as Belgium in the group. But I like Belgium more. Somebody put Belgium above them. Simple as that. Now Australia, going off their most recent result, you could make a case to put them in B tier. Their most recent LAN result, that is, at the World Championship. But they did lose the most recent OCE regional. This is the same team who made top 6 at the World Championship. It's Wild Cards, Fever, Torsos, Banana Head. But yeah, they came second in the most recent OCE regional. They lost out to Power. So not a bad team there. We'll take a look. I've forgotten who's playing for Power right now. Fibergus and Super Lucky, of course. So yeah, going game 7 with these guys is not the end of the world, but I think it is a regression to the mean. I think the top 6 at Worlds was an unsustainable peak for this team, and I'm going to bring them back down to C tier because against EU competition last year at the FIFAe World Cup, they did not fare very well. Australia struggled massively, finishing with -16 game diff. Going up against Germany, England, Spain, Belgium, Netherlands. So, a lot of these same countries, there's Germany, Belgium, England, Netherlands. It's literally just the same teams, the same nations. And although Australia's results since then have improved and some of these nations have not, I still think that they're going to struggle based on last year in this format. But, they're in a good group. I like their group for them. I think Australia, if they are going to get out, they've got to beat Morocco because Morocco's playing with a new player. Got to beat Malaysia. Got to beat South Africa. That's your must wins. Oh, they're not. They're actually not. England's not in this, or England is in this group this time. They're not in this one. England. You're probably going to need to steal a game or two off them. Maybe a game off Belgium, Netherlands. These are the main competitions: the Belgium, the Netherlands, the England, France. Probably alone at the top in this group. But yeah, good group for Australia if they are going to do something, I think. But yeah, I can't power rank them any higher than this. Now, Morocco, very interesting. They finished top 4 last time, as expected. But this year, they're not playing with Itachi. Itachi's retired. They're playing with Skyrix. Now, if you do look up Skyrix on Tracker, you'll see he's like a 2.4k peak 2s player. He's been one placement off main event in RLCS last season. In fact, just one game off. Making it last season, so he's nearly made main event a couple of times. Actually, that's pretty brutal. I've just noticed he's 2 times 17th place. In fact, 3 times 17th place in RLCS by losing game 5. So he's EU bubble player, but that's definitely a big downgrade from Itachi. Even if he can play up to that expected level, this is going to be a completely new experience for Skyrix. And even in qualifying, they didn't have to play any other strong teams. South Africa is the only team that they played at this tournament, the qualifying tournament, the African qualifier. They destroyed South Africa. But if you check these replays, the games were played in European servers, so it doesn't really mean anything because you're playing against South Africa team with 200 ping on their side, and you're on perfect ping. So you can't really say much about this Morocco team. They haven't beaten anybody as a trio of relevance. That being said, Drali is one of the best players in the world. Nas is continuing to improve and show that he's able to put his 1s and 2s excellence into 3s. But yeah, I don't think I can put them with the EU gang here. I think I have to bump them down. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna put them under Australia, who just finished like well at the World Championship, just because they're a dark horse. Maybe Skyrix is just gonna play really solid, and this is gonna increase his own individual stakes as a player massively this event. I mean, what an opportunity for him to do that. If he could play well here, lots of good teams are going to be looking at him. But in terms of a power ranking, I think because they are playing with 2/3 of a world-class team and then one bubble player, I'm going to put them underneath the other teams who have done things at the world level, the world stage more recently. Yeah, right. They're right here with Chile pretty much. I think I'll probably put them just above Chile, just purely out of respect for the Drelly Nas, the strength those names bring. Okay, then South Africa. Very interesting situation going on in South Africa. I'm gonna put them in D tier. Now, the thing with South Africa right now is, last time they played with their limitless roster, To Die For, Snowy, Sweaty. This year they've gone with Guns instead of Sweaty, and the situation there is that due to the new 2/3 rule in Sub-Saharan Africa, all of the top teams in SSA are playing with a Spanish player. So you've got Luis playing with To Die For and Sweaty, Teko's playing with Snowy and Guns, and they've established themselves as the top two teams. Game 7 in the final, not going closer than anyone else. But Sweaty definitely has every right to feel hard done by not being selected for this team, because he came out of last season as the top actual SSA team. Now they've won this event. I know the roster was picked before then, but yeah, it's tough. You've got 4 actual South African players who are a level above the rest. Have to go with 3 of them. I don't know why this selection was made this way, but yeah, good luck to them in the event. Always love seeing the South African boys play. And just like Malaysia, Australia, I think they're in a good group. They've got each other in the group, and Morocco with a bubble player. So maybe they can get something done here. But yeah. There was like a bit of a drama on Twitter about that. I think Sweaty wasn't too happy about not being selected, which is understandable. So we'll see how the team goes without him, without potentially the best player in SSA. Well, the best South African player, maybe. You'd have to say it's either him or To Die For at the moment, because their team won the first event of the year. But not, it's close. It's very close. So I think they're going to be a respectable team for the region. Malaysia now. This is very interesting because they've got Sphinx, who is obviously an extremely strong player. He just had a great world championship, taking down Shopify Rebellion alongside the rest of the Vert Pro lineup. But the other 2/3 of the Malaysia team are not on his level. They're players who do make main events pretty often. Blue and Misty, they make main events in APAC pretty often. But I think most recently they didn't, so they're not currently in teams that are making main events. The most recent one, RLCS Boston Major APAC, they missed out by 1 game for Blue, and yeah, they lost 3-1 in the main event to go out last place in the group. So yeah, Misty did make main event, but didn't go too well for him. So yeah, they're like bubble APAC players currently, players who have made deep runs in APAC in the past, but they're going to be relying heavily on Sphinx to carry here, because yeah, he's going to need to do a lot. I actually don't know where these games were played. That's kind of interesting. I don't know where what server these were played on for Australia versus Malaysia. But Malaysia got a game. Fair play to them. I'm going to say that they're top of D just because I think Sphinx is on a level above. Sphinx as an individual is on this level right now. So I'm going to put him top of D. But going up against full strong EU team, full solid teams out of Sam and Australia, as well as a 2/3 world class team from Morocco, I think it's just going to be a bit tough with the entire roster strength. And now, okay, USA this year not showing up with the 4th or 5th, I don't know how many, they're probably like 3rd or 4th best option they had last year with Gen G. This year they're showing up with the number 1 team in North America. The number 1 team in USA is going to be the NRG boys. Really glad to see that, because it's for USA. Surely the USA pride, the American pride, is enough motivation here. There's been a lot of discourse about this over the course of the year. A lot of people saying, I get it why they wouldn't want to go last year. A lot of other people saying, I don't get it. How are they not there? How are they not present? Well, they're here this time. So let's see how they go. They've had mixed success in the Saudi events in the past. Daniel Beast Mode winning Gamers 8 the second time around, the Crew Battles event, and Esports World Cup. Atomic and Daniel played with NAS and made top 4. Beast Mode didn't want to go. They didn't have a great Esports World Cup this year, but obviously they're coming in as a world champions who didn't make the kickoff LAN. Everything being said, I'm going to put them above Saudi Arabia purely because they are still a full roster. They're practicing together. And I think not making kickoff LAN will have given them a kick in the bum, and now they're going to be grinding. Rocket League, hopefully, not Rust. Hopefully they're grinding Rocket League. I've not been hours checking them. But Saudi, still going to be really strong, but they're not actively... Well, I'm sure this week they've been scrimming, but up until now in this new season, they've not. They've been in 2 different teams. The synergy will still be strong, but it won't be as strong as for the USA. But yeah, it would still be a great match. It would be great to see them play against each other one more time with these rosters, as they've had some epic battles in the past. I would predict that if it's in the grand final, they play USA win it, and if it's before the grand final, I think Saudi probably have the edge, in my opinion, being the hometown team, not having to travel. Okay, France. I think you guys already know. Zen, Vatira, Juicy and Vatira coming off a win in Copenhagen. They're not a full team. They're not a full roster like USA are and like Saudi Arabia formerly was, like Brazil are. But I'm still going to put them as the top. I think they're the favorites because you're taking Atto out of the roster of Karmine Corp and you're putting Zen in. Now last year it was adding Vatira to the soon-to-be Vitality of Zen, Monkey Moon, Exotic. You're swapping in Vatira. But realistically they were coming in as like pretty brand new trio. And I think they still nearly beat Saudi Arabia in the final, to be honest. That second, they were 1-0 up and they went to overtime, super long overtime in the grand final game too. Yeah, 8 minutes. If France win this 8-minute overtime, I think they win the series. Even if they win this nearly 3-minute overtime, they've got all the momentum. But losing 2 long overtimes in a row completely broke them, and Saudi Arabia ran away with it. But this was a very close series. And now I think they've got a more solid roster that actually has proven results together. Last year's France was a pickup team of superstars. It was an insane team on paper, and they did nearly win the tournament. This time, there's more evidence to suggest France is going to be good because Vatira Juicy just won a LAN, and you're plugging in Zen, who might still be the best player in the world in many people's eyes. So they're my tournament favorites. USA and Saudi, also S tier. Brazil alone in A tier. That's all the teams that are in this. All the other teams at the bottom, they're just like, this tier list was for the entire event. I think all of the qualifiers and stuff. So I'll just remove that for now. But that's your team. I think this is your top 4. And then you've got the next teams. Is that even possible? I've got USA, Saudi, Brazil. Are Belgium, England, and Netherlands in the same group? I think they are, right? England, Belgium, Netherlands, France. Yeah, so that's my 4 that I've got coming out of Group B, I suppose. And then I've got Saudi Arabia, USA, Brazil, Germany coming out of Group A. That's my, S, A, and B tier. And then the C tier teams, competitive but missing out. D tier, going to be fighting for games and trying to do some damage, but ultimately I don't think they're going to have a chance to make it out. And then F tier, Oman, just along for the ride. I think this team is the absolute dark horse. I think they're below dark horse. They're the supreme underdogs. But good luck to them. It's an exciting experience all the same. There you go. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that the USA and Brazil synergy, the full rosters, will be too much of an advantage? Do you think hometown advantage for Saudi? Or do you think the recency of winning the kickoff LAN for Vatira Juicy, plugging in maybe the best player in the world in Zen, who's not hard to play with, or at least doesn't look like he is. Yeah, do you think that they're going to be on top? I know, really bold prediction, picking the French every time. But that's my tier list. Like I said, predictions. We may do that on the Chalkcast Patreon if we can all get online at the same time in a call to record. We'll do it. And keep an eye out on the channel the next few days for more recap videos from the kickoff LAN. And we're also going to be uploading another one of those on the Next Rank YouTube channel as well. We did a video about KC. We'll put that next week. this week. Well, actually, just yesterday we uploaded the one on Shopify Rebellion, so be sure to check that out on the Next Rank YouTube channel. That's all I've got time for this one. Hope you enjoyed. Be civil or not in the comments. I don't really give a monkeys, and I'll see you in the next one.